Hey guys, welcome to NG Site, and today we're gonna cover Man of Steel. Yeah, and that look on Jason's face is like, finally.
I've been waiting for a good Superman movie for so long. They've been making good Batman movies and done Iron Man films and Spider-Man. Superman's special, man. He's like the first superhero. So for this film to actually get made, it was necessary for it to be good.
Dude, it had to be good.
It had to be good.
After the
Superman
last
Returns
one.
was Bryan Singer, we had our hopes for Bryan Singer because he was a Superman fan. He was an
Yeah.
assistant of Richard Donner, the director for Superman.
And he did a good job with X-Men.
Yeah. But he made it too much of a tribute to Richard Donner's film.
Yeah, too much. Slavish.
Yeah. So what was necessary was for Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan, Mr. Batman, who was supervising everything, to break away from that. And I think they succeeded with that.
Synopsis?
Okay. Classic Superman origin story. Dying planet. Jor-El and Lara send off their son to save him from the exploding planet of Krypton. But before that happens, there's a conflict with General Zod, who's played by the awesome Michael Shannon. And Michael Shannon, Zod kills Russell Crowe Jor-El, while Lara is able to jettison off the baby. And suddenly, as Krypton explodes, we jump forward quite a bit chronologically, and it's already to the point where he's already a man and he's saving people along the way, hitchhiking across the nation. And he's like trying to be low key, but at the same time he wants to be of help. He wants to use his abilities.
So wait, let me clear this up though. Was he like just go on the road, or was he like looking for like the reason why he was sent to the planet? I think that was it, right? I think he was on the road just to search. Right?
Yeah, that too, I guess. And along the way, the past haunts him because Zod comes back. Zod with his own followers, his own Kryptonian superpowered followers, arrive on Earth and demand that Kal-El, Superman, Henry Cavill, surrender himself to Zod.
Right.
That's where the conflict is.
Yeah. It was the way they paced it though. I felt was a bit off for me. I felt like the flashbacks were scattered everywhere. There are times they use it really effectively. I think I mean that was a bit jarring for me when when you're expecting like the whole mom and pa can't discover the baby.
Yeah.
They just jump into him being he's a fisherman.
Which I thought worked better because I thought that helped with the pace.
Exactly.
Because you needed to tell the story, and I thought this was the best way to do the story without it being overly
predictable,
repeating the
things
that have been said in all the
agree.
other movies. Because I think most of the people watching it are already familiar with the backstory anyway. So I like the treatment in that it told the story, but more than that, I think it was able to develop the character, especially Jonathan Kent's character, where they're not just. And I like the way they were developed, where the parents here, they're not done the way that like Aunt May is done in the Spider-Man movies, where they're just they're not cookie cutter characters.
I agree with you. I mean, Jonathan Kent, he had like depth to him.
Yeah.
And it's not like
They're not my kids.
I care.
Should have let them turn out.
Yeah, it's just curious to note that Superman here was raised by two Robin Hoods.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, was Dan names or wrong?
And you're right though. I mean, Jonathan Kent had depth, and I was also surprised with Russell Crowe because they gave him a lot to do. I thought he was.
I thought
see
he'd
at
be
the beginning.
like Marlon Brando in the original Superman. It was like in the start, then you'll see his head.
Right.
Goodbye.
Right.
But here, they had him interacting with.
And he had like two major action scenes.
Yeah, and I was like, when he was throwing down with Zod, I was like, Maximus! The Gladiator is one of my favorite films.
Same here.
And I figured that Zack Snyder would be like, we're already paying you so much, you might as well do something around here.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's such a waste,
Yeah.
You put like a big name actor and he doesn't do much, and like at least you do.
It wasn't too. The second part though where it shows up, it wasn't too Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't too
No. I felt,
like they just threw him in for.
you know, there's a part of it that's kind of like Deus Ex Machina, but at the same time, you know, I was thinking the way to break through that is by thinking forward. The technology is so far advanced.
And he is the foremost scientist.
Yeah, foremost scientist in Krypton. So,
Yeah.
they
we would think
they
that
would have,
for-
you know.
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that whole Ex Machina thing. I mean, so I think everything in terms of plot wise fell organically. It's just that for me, I thought the beginning for me, the first hour, I felt was like I liked the opening Krypton sequence, but when it got to Clark, yes, it was interesting, but like man, it was just I have to admit, like 45 minutes when I was like, get on with it already. And at least when it reaches the climax of that whole what was it 45 minutes of action,
I wasn't looking at my watch.
it was worth it.
It's one of those movies where I never looked at my watch.
Yeah.
I was just enthralled.
Oh yeah.
Completely immersed in it. I was
How long was the movie?
2 hours.
2 hours plus. 2 hours like
But it didn't feel like
2 hours.
It
30
started
minutes.
a little after 1. Then I looked at my watch when it ended. It was like 2:35. 2 hours 35.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours and a half.
Yeah. So, I'm just so
Oh,
happy.
iiyak siya.
I'm just so happy. Bumaiyak na ako. It's just, because we all grew up, wanting to fly and stuff. Like, as we grow up, we want to be more like Batman or our own superheroes, like Spider-Man and Wolverine and all of their flaws. But for me, Superman is always going to be special because he's the first hero and everything follows that template. Every company has to have an iconic character, and
Yeah.
even if they mock him with like a